Cuba's worst ever fire brought under control after burning for 5 days at oil depot, officials say. Matanzas, Cuba. Firefighters on Tuesday finally overcame what officials described as the worst fire in Cuba's history. That over 5 days destroyed 40% of the Caribbean island's main fuel storage facility and caused a massive blackout. Reuters witnesses reported the raging flames that ravaged a four-tank segment of the Matanzas supertanker port that died down, and the towering plumes of thick black smoke streaming from the area were dismissed and now mostly gray. Matanzas is the Cuba's largest port for receiving crude oil and fuel import. Cuban heavy crude, as well as fuel oil and diesel stored in Matanzas in 10 huge tanks, are mainly used to generate electricity on the island. Mexican and Cuban firefighters worked to put out the fire at the fuel depot that was sparked by the lightning strike. Lightning struck one fuel storage tank on Friday evening. The fire spread to the second by Sunday and engulfed the four tank area on Monday, accompanied by the huge explosions and despite the effort by local firefighters supported by more than 100 Mexican and Venezuelan reinforcement. Firefighter Rafael Perez Garriza told Reuters on the streaming outskirts of the disaster that he worries the fire would impact the power situation in the country. The situation is going to be more difficult. If the thermoelectric plant were supplied with that oil, we are going to have the whole world affected. It's electricity and it affects everything, he said. Man fishes as smoke rised from the massive fire at the fuel depot in Matanzas, Cuba on August 9, 2022. Communist-run country under heavy U.S. sanctions is all but bankrupt. Frequent blackouts and shortages of gasoline and other commodities already have created a tense situation with scattered local protests following last summer's historic unrest in July. On Tuesday, more helicopters joined the airport to put out the fire, along with two fireboats sent by Mexico, along with heavy firefighting equipment. We have not yet been able to access the impact area due to the conditions. There is a combustions, and so we cannot risk our lives for now, Perez said around noon. Smoke rises from a deadly fire at a large oil storage facility in Matanzas, Cuba on August 9th. Later in the day, firefighters for the first time were entering the area and spraying foam and water on the still smoldering remains. Today we have managed to control the fire, Lorenzo Pessino, head of transport for the Ministry of the Interior, said on state-run television from the scene. Officials have not said how much fuel has been lost in the fire, which destroyed all four tanks. The authorities state that no oil had contaminated the nearby Matanzas Bay. Still, they warned residents as far away as Havana to wear face masks and avoid acid rain due to the massive flume of smoke the fire generated. The firefighter helicopter dropped the water on the massive fire at the fuel depot in Matanzas, Cuba on August 8th. One firefighter died and 14 went missing on Saturday when the second tank blew up, the authorities said on Tuesday, correcting an earlier figure of 60 missing 5 others remain in the critical condition. Mario Sabines, governor of the Matanzas province, about 60 miles (130 kilometers) from Havana, quipped, "The flames spread like an Olympic torch from one tank to the next, turning each into the cardron